When you hear about mass violence, you most definitely think of America. The stereotype that kids can't go to school without being shot is sadly true worldwide and has been since 1966. One country you probably wouldn't imagine being home to mass violence in schools is Sweden. Gang violence is very common. It seems that gang violence lingers in the air within Sweden. Violence in schools, like its neighbor, Finland, has sadly happened multiple times before. The first school shooting to occur in Sweden, and one of the first in Europe in general, occurred on the 4th of March 1961 in Gotland, Sweden. The attack killed one person, for Håkan Oldvall. The gunman was identified as 17-year-old Okonri Anderson. In August 2008, Anderson would take his own life at the age of 64. The second is probably the most infamous incident. The incident took place in Trollhättan, 46 miles away from Gothenburg. A man donning an all-black get-up from head to toe walked around Cronin School with a Viking sword. With such sword, the attacker killed 3 people and injured 2. The suspect, 21-year-old Anton Ludin Pettis, would soon die in hospital. The attack was motivated by racism, anti-immigration sentiments, and suicidal ideation. The third and most recent attack happened at Risbergska School in Örebro, Sweden on the 4th of February 2025. The school is an adult education center. On the 4th of February, a gunman who was a former student opened fire on people, killing 10. Upon being cornered, like a coward, the suspect, Richard Anderson, a 35-year-old man, committed suicide, bringing the death toll to 11. 12 others were injured. It became the deadliest attack in Europe in 2025 until the Graz school shooting, which drew the death toll at 11. Overall, school attacks in Sweden occur far apart from Ekotha, but when they do occur, they shake the whole world. But today's video discusses a school attack which barely shook local headlines. Hugo Jackson was born on the 12th of May 2006 in Eslov, Sweden, to parents of Sri Lankan and Colombian descent. His childhood was rather uneventful in the early years. He done normal kid things, play video games regularly, go out with friends and explore the internet. Like some kids with unrestricted internet access, he slowly became radicalized. He began developing a hatred for Jews, gay people, Muslims, and other non-white nationalities. Funny thing is, he's the child of an Asian South American couple. During his childhood, he met future fellow school attacker Lardy Ekenstein, who attacked his school on the 10th of January 2022. They met via Roblox and bonded over them both being Swedish. They became so close, in fact, they called each other blood brothers. This wouldn't be the last time a school attacker would be in contact with another school attacker. Take Solomon Henderson fanboying over Samantha Rapnow. More correlations I found are that one, both Solomon and Hugo are self-hating minorities, and the other having been radicalized due to extreme internet usage at a young age. Ekenstein's mother didn't like Hugo banning them from calling on Skype. She claimed it was due to Hugo's constant usage of swearing. After a while of speaking on Skype, they began talking on Discord, and this time, instead of Swedish, they spoke in English. Ekenstein and Jackson had met a few times before, but didn't do so often as Ekenstein lived in Kristianstad while Jackson in Eslov. They were teenagers, and probably weren't allowed to travel the near-hour distance trip to meet each other on the regular. Soon, Hugo began developing a fascination with school shootings. At that point, he was attending Kollebæk School in his hometown of Eslov. He also began delving into far-right terrorism. He began fawning over the 2011 Norway attacks by terrorist Andersen Behring Breivik. He began falling in love with Christchurch mass shootings, which occurred in March 2019, committed by Brenton Tarrant. He and Ekenstein made sick jokes about such attack. Tarrant inspired Jackson to start writing a manifesto, of which he credited Ekenstein for helping him plan something. Ekenstein and Jackson also hosted Twitch streams, but they are currently lost media. Eventually, through Ekenstein's mother, Hugo was reported to Swedish authorities after Hugo posed with airsoft assault rifles. The photos spread around, and eventually Ekenstein's mother saw the photos. The police report resulted in police visiting Jackson's home. To the police, nothing seemed off, and they left without even a warning. Throughout 2020 and 2021, warning signs appeared more obvious by what seemed like by the day. The police returned to his property, but yet again, no arrests were made. Only warnings this time. It was stupid. He even brought fucking knives to school. I don't get how he wasn't caught out before what happened. He literally wore a fucking swastika armband to school, and no one did a shit. Eventually, social services were called, and the Swedish government kept a close eye on Jackson. The FBI was actually contacted by a concerned online user by what Hugo had been saying. The FBI tracked his location down to Eslov, Sweden, and gave everything they found to Swedish authorities. Yet a goddamn again. The authorities came round. Surely after 2 visits they should have done something. Nothing is publicly available on what happened, but clearly not anything major. Hugo was in love with the way Tarrant had live-streamed his slaughter of his victims. SND became accumulating gear for the upcoming attack. Here included skeletal patterned gloves and face mask, a helmet with a camera holder, and a bulletproof vest with a Swedish flag dead center on the middle with their pistols holstered on the sides. He walked into his school with a gym bag and got changed into his get-up for the attack. He walked out and went to a sports field located on Parkinson's Road. He began streaming via his Twitch account named Spectator Solvent. He crouched down and gave 2 thumbs up before muttering, "Remember lads, subscribe to PewDiePie." His utterance of PewDiePie was a reference to the Christchurch mass shootings. He then began walking in circles for 3 to 4 minutes before entering his school. After 8 minutes, he eventually walked into his school. He was initially greeted by 45-year-old teacher Niklas, who threw a quick remark towards Jackson's way about his get-up and how it wasn't uniform. Enraged, Jackson stabbed Niklas. He collapsed to the floor. He survived. He began to believe he was some CSGO surfer when he began swinging his blade around. Luckily, the teacher in this image was not hurt. Jackson actually respected her and just swiped it towards her, not even scraping her. After around 15 minutes, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, you know, the band fronted by gay icon Freddie Mercury, began playing. Eventually, the police arrived. He retrieved one of his airsoft guns and attempted suicide by cop, but upon the officer shooting a warning shot near Jackson, like a pussycat, he shrieked in fear and gave up. He was finally arrested. Upon being escorted in handcuffs, the screen turned grey for roughly 4 minutes before the stream ended. One innocent teacher was stabbed and a school was shook to the core. Hugo told the police that he was tired of life. I doubt that, as he acted truly smug throughout reading this case. On the 22nd of December 2021, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in a youth detention center. He was charged with 1 count of attempted murder and 9 counts of grossly unlawful threats. 3 months later, it rose to 13 grossly unlawful threats after 4 charges were added on. 4 years later, and well, Hugo Jackson is free and has been since June this year. His whereabouts are currently unknown. Let's hope he never hurts anyone again. Now, if you're wondering what happened to Lottie Ukenstein upon his release, which the date is unknown, but I'd presume last year, as his Facebook became active then. But anyways, he now plays the bass guitar and is actually quite good. If Hugo Jackson does this, then I think if he has 100% left his last behind him, then fair for him. But I don't think he has. He even has an account on a music website. As previously stated, the attack was fully live-streamed. It was viewed by 4 people only: a Twitch employee, a police officer, and 2 anonymous viewers. Ukenstein did in fact see the original VOD after the attack. No one backed it up. No one saved it. No VODs exist. Only screenshots exist. Chances on finding the stream is 0% in my personal opinion. Unless the Twitch streamer goes rogue, the police release the footage, or the 2 anonymous viewers randomly drop the video on some gore website, then we may never see it. And honestly good. I want lost media to be found with stuff like this, and the Columbine tapes should stay lost. Overall, this whole scenario is honestly bizarre. 2 teenage racists form a bromance over Roblox and become ultra mega racists. One against people like him. Minorities. The guy was also homophobic, but loved Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. Honestly, this fucker was so stupid. I think, unlike Lottie Ukenstein, who has changed, I don't believe Hugo has. Fuck Hugo. Fuck racists, homophobes, Islamophobes, and other bigoted bastards. I am sorry a new video took so long to release. I was burnt out so bad I could event sick the app icon. I would try and edit or write videos. Get perhaps 25% in and stop, but from now on I promise more videos are coming. Please be patient though. Okay. Love you, bye.